OBSBOT Meet 2? Wow. Whoa. Whoa. I did not expect that. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. Breaking into the webcam space is not something that's done easily. And if you have not heard of the brand OBSBOT before, well, you might want to pay attention. Now, my journey with OBSBOT began a few years ago when I was looking for an AI tracking camera. I had actually watched a Linus Tech Tips video, which was reviewing the OBSBOT Meet. Now, high level, the OBSBOT Meet is an AI tracking gimbal that you can put your cell phone on, and camera built into the gimbal features AI tracking techniques to make sure that you're always in frame. Now, I wasn't using it specifically how they wanted it to be used, in that I used it in my garage live streaming. So I actually had to clip another webcam on top of that to track me while I was working in the garage. If you're curious about those videos, I do have a number of live stream videos that featured the OBSBOT Meet. You won't see the product itself, but what you will see is that a camera is kind of following me around the shop. Now, after seeing that video from Linus Tech Tips, I saw the price tag on the OBSBOT Meet and I thought, holy crap, there's gotta be a cheaper way. So I actually went through a number of inexpensive Amazon specials that claimed to do the same thing. And what I quickly found was that AI tracking cams are not all the same. Eventually, I did cater and I bought the OBSBOT Meet, and I haven't looked back since. If you want the best AI tracking, you want to go with OBSBOT. But OBSBOT has a lot of different product lines now. They've been expanding. So we've already done a review of the OBSBOT Tiny 2 Lite, which, if you're curious about that one, it is a full featured tracking cam with motorized gimbal, which works phenomenally. We did explore that completely in a different video, which you can check out on this channel already. Today, I want to look at this guy. This is the brand new OBSBOT Meet 2. Now, it is a cheaper price. It is more of a regular webcam, but it packs a ton of AI features that start to edge into the Tiny 2 and some of the other OBSBOT family. And they do it at an affordable price with some really cool ways that they accomplish this. So I want to look at this a lot closer. Now, the Meet 2 builds on all of the features and benefits that the regular Meet has. The Meet 2 is here with a more colorful and compact look. Its mighty 4K image technology with advanced AI feature is always impressive. Every frame will be a perfect moment in your video calls and content creation. Now, at a high level, it's a cute little mini colored cube. It has exclusive AI auto framing. It includes the OBSBOT gesture control, unparalleled 4K video, and it has a one-stop control center hub. Now, we're going to look at each of those individually, starting with a quick unboxing so we can see what's inside here. Comes with a USB cord and a USB-C to USB-A adapter. The cord itself is about 5 feet long, which should be plenty long enough. It is a USB-C to USB-C cord. That means it'll plug into the USB port on the camera, but most laptops and computers have a USB-C port to plug into the computer. If not, it does have this USB-C to USB-A adapter, which feels high quality and allows you to plug into your regular USB-A port. It has a user manual, which in true Gears and Tech style, we're not going to read it, but it does have a lot of details about mounting the camera, and that's about it, which we're going to review in this video anyway, so you probably won't need to read this manual either. I do want to look at this mount, which it's like a special Z or Z design. It will clip onto your laptop or monitor like this. And then it's got a base for the camera. Now, the camera has a magnetic surface on the bottom here. So you just go like that and it sticks onto your surface however you want. It also can be flipped sideways and stick on there in multiple orientations for those of you who are doing vertical profile shooting and stuff like that. And on the bottom of the camera is the 1/4 thumb screw, which allows you to mount it on a little mini tripod just like this, or a full-size tripod, depending on what you're trying to do. And just for fun, let's demonstrate it. So here we are with our little tripod. We'll spin that on, and we've got a camera on a tripod. Now this guy is a little handheld one, which you're probably not going to use in this format. I used it for all my run and gun shooting with an action camera. That's not really what this is designed for. So this would allow you, if you wanted like a table mount, you could put that up just like that and have it sitting on a table instead of being clipped to the monitor all the time. Now let's look at the camera itself. First off, it is very tiny. It comes in 3 distinct colors. We've got the gray one here. It also comes in Aurora green, cloud white, or as seen here, space gray. That Aurora green was very tempting for me as well, but I had to go with the classic space gray. Now, before we hook this up and get actual video footage from the camera that you guys will see in this video, I want to run through some of the features really quick so that you know what we're testing when we plug this thing in. This has AI auto framing. As you can see here, it will expand the field of view to show everything that is in frame. If you only have one person in frame, it'll zoom in tight and crop that image. The camera itself is not actually moving to accomplish this. So when we looked at the Tiny 2, it actually has this little gimbal that the camera's mounted on where it can move and rotate and do all of its fancy wizardry. So this one is obviously a lot more capable with wide movements, but this one starts with a really wide field of view, and then it can zoom down and in and kind of zoom close, or it can pan wide and get that wider shot. So as long as you've set the initial frame for the widest point that you need, this camera will be able to zoom in and out as needed within that frame range. So we already looked at the ability for the camera to be rotated on its axis. This is great for those of you who are doing vertical format videos. So it's not just a webcam for webcamming. This is also a great little camera that you can use for your YouTube videos, your Instagrams, your TikToks, all of that. And the high resolution image sensor makes sure that your video always looks crisp and clear. Now, we did already talk about the gesture controls, and this is where it is really interesting. So by putting your hand up in the air, you lock the camera onto you and it will follow you around the room. Keep in mind, it's simply just panning and zooming to follow you. It's not going to actually rotate the camera, but as long as you are moving within the range of the scene that you've established, it will absolutely follow you and zoom in and zoom out as needed, which makes it almost seem like you've got a cameraman, even though you don't have a cameraman. This allows you to do a full one-man or one-woman show without having to incur extra costs. It increases your production value so much without increasing the cost to your production. You do also have the option to hold your hand up like this to zoom in or zoom out. Now, personally, for me, if I was doing live streaming, I wouldn't use that feature because you're going to have a hard time explaining to your viewers why you're doing a loser sign all the time and then it's zooming in on your face while you're doing that. So for me, I would use that feature if I was doing something in post where I could cut that out. But when you're live streaming or doing something live, you could use the camera to just automatically zoom in and out for you. They were kind of alluded to this. I talked about how crystal clear this is. Well, just how crystal clear is it? This will record video at 4K 30 frames per second or 1080p 60 frames per second. It also equips your videos with rich colors and perfect details, which bring your content to life and makes it very, very vivid. And you can see in this graphic that we're showing, the Meet 2 definitely has much sharper, better, crisper image for sure. And we will test that ourselves in a moment when we hook it up to this laptop and actually see how this thing works. Something else that's really cool, especially for you product reviewers, is the autofocus. So all you have to do is hold something up closer. It will focus on that close item. Move the close item away and it'll focus back in the general view of what's in frame. So it does that seamlessly through software. So it's not actually turning a lens. So there's no noise at all added to the microphone pickup, which this does have dual microphone pickups to give you seamless clear audio without any of the background noises because it can actually block those out through its own AI technologies. Now, the sensor on here is a 1/2-inch CMOS sensor. 1/2 inch is a great sensor size for low light conditions. This allows you, in this studio, I'm lit pretty well. So you can see I've got lots of fill light. It's kind of dark back there, but it's lit well enough that this sensor would work beautifully in this kind of studio. But even if I turned off the studio lights and I just had the light from my monitor, a little RGB on there, this would pick up all the images perfectly. Now, this isn't just for the next TikTok star or the gamer that's live streaming. This is a regular webcam. So this will work with all your productivity software, your Zooms, your Teams, your Google Meets, all of that. And it does it so seamlessly with plug and play features. So you simply plug it in and it works. There are no softwares to install. There's no drivers to install. It will show up on your computer as a regular webcam, but all of those AI features that we talked about are built into the camera itself. That means as soon as it turns on, all those features are enabled for you right away. The camera just thinks it's a regular webcam. It has no idea that it's zooming in and zooming out, that it's adjusting the focus, that it's doing any of that. The camera does the magic and it sends the image to the software. The software just takes it as if it was just a bland, plain old boring webcam. And we will demonstrate how easy it is to hook up momentarily. Before we hook it up though, I do want to tell you about the advanced features. You can install the OBSBOT Stentor. That is special software that interfaces with the camera directly on your computer, and it unlocks all of the features that we talked about through gesture control, and it puts it into a software. You can actually choose the settings you want and toggle between them. You can even set up a multi-cam environment. So you could use the Tiny 2 that we reviewed in a different video and the Meet 2 to make a dual camera setup and effortlessly and easily toggle between the two and control each individually using that OBSBOT software. Again, I want to stress that is not required. You do not need to use the software in order to use the camera, but for those people who are looking for more advanced features, there are tons of features that get unlocked by the software if that's the path you want to go. So now that we've talked all about it, let's see how it performs. We're going to plug this guy in right now. I'm going to bring out my tripod again because I want to have it kind of set up in a way that we can use there. And I'm using OBS, and that's just so that you guys can see what I'm actually doing while I'm doing it. You do not have to use OBS. If you're just using Teams or Zoom or Twitch or even YouTube live stream, this will just plug right in and just work directly, okay? No OBS needed, but we're gonna use OBS. I have not installed any drivers. I'm gonna say capture device. I'm gonna call this OBSBOT Meet. So first thing that's going to happen is my computer is going to say, well, do you mean your webcam? No, I don't mean my webcam. That's my webcam though. Let's go. It shows up here, OBSBOT Meet to stream camera. Perfect. There's my web. Wow. Okay, so here's my webcam. Really kind of blurry edges. It makes me look 10 years younger, which is great. But now let's switch to the Meet 2 and look at that. It immediately takes the color and really helps enrich it and make it pop. Now I do have options to adjust the resolution and all of that. Do I want to change it? I can go custom and then I can pick my resolution. I can do 4K like that. Okay, so there's 4K. I can go 1080 like that, which is probably what I'm going to do. The camera's connected. It looks pretty good. Now you can see it's kind of moving around like crazy. The camera itself is not moving, as you can see. But if I back up like this, see how it's zooming in on me back here? Now my lighting's not as good back here, but it's zooming. Now it's panning out. I think it's trying to do the gest. It saw my hands and it was like, okay, so here I am telling it zoom in to me. Now, this is an example of how the camera can't move. It's simply just panning and zooming. So if I move over here, now it should go out. There we go. This is without any moving pieces. I can have this mounted on my laptop and it will just zoom in and zoom out. I don't know if it lost me there. Sometimes I move a little bit too fast. So there you can see it followed me there. Maybe it doesn't see that far away. And if I move close, then it should fix itself. There we go. So it's working pretty good. Like, and even like I talked about the sensor, like there's a little bit of blurring here as I move my hands, but as soon as I stop, it's crystal clear. Now they say that it has autofocus. So if I move that like this, look at that. So it's like super focused on what I've got here. You know what? I might have my new, look at that. Wow. You guys can see up right here, I have a GoPro mounted here for my over desk kind of shots. So while we were doing the unboxing and everything, I'm thinking this guy with its autofocus, look at that. I can get this thing to focus on super fine details while I'm kind of blurred in the background. So this thing is, so it's definitely focusing on that right now. Then when I put that down, it focuses back on me. This is really cool. So, I mean, I'm using it in extreme case here, but it's really crystal clear from what I'm seeing, and it doesn't move. It's a fixed camera. So I can fix that camera up on here, and that's pretty cool. I'm really enjoying this. If you wanted to pick up one of these for yourself, I will put a link in the description down below. It retails for about $130. Now, I do want to point out the fact that the Tiny 2 Lite retails for just a little bit more. So you kind of have to know what it is you're looking for. As a webcam that's really not a lot of gimmicks and stuff, this is an exceptional value. But the Tiny 2 does add a lot more features for a small little bit more money. So depending on what exactly you're looking for, one of these two might be the right camera for you. If they are, I'll put a link to both of them. If you're curious about this one, probably you already saw the other review that we did, but if you have not, check that one out because it's really cool. Link down in the description for purchasing either of these. Buy both if you want, because we did talk about the multicam setup where you can have one and the other and set up a real cool studio with a very small investment up front. I did already talk about the cheap imitation knockoffs that claim to do what the OBSBOT family is doing. And I'll reiterate, in my experience, they are nowhere nearly as good as what you just saw today. So do not think that those Amazon specials are going to do what you just witnessed this guy doing. If you need the features that we just reviewed, these are the cameras that you're looking for. But tell me what your thoughts. I always love to hear the comments from the people who watch these videos. Tell me, did I miss anything? Put a comment down below. Do you have experience yourself with these cameras? Put a comment down below. I read every comment. I respond to as many as I can, and I can't wait to show you guys more cool products like these. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video. We'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.